Hi there. Last time we looked at a group of 3 records that all had something in common, and so this afternoon we're going to look at another group which also have something in common. So here we have a bunch of 18 78s, and this time they all are 78s, at least nominally. What they have in common is this. Yes, this group of records, they are unbreakable, and in addition to that, or unbreakable in normal use, such as if you accidentally drop it, they also have the following property, that they are flexible. There's only 3 types here, so we'll just look at each one quite quickly, and we'll take them in reverse order, the commonest to begin with. Yes, here's the Durium record, and it is of course the same thing as Hit of the Week in the US, and they sold them on newsstands as they did the Duriums because they couldn't be broken readily, and I think the Hit of the Weeks usually have one long side, whereas the Duriums of dance music and so on in England had 2 shorter sides, and of course they are single-sided records. They're also rather convex, you see, so just let's zoom in. So in order to stop the convex record springing up off the spindle, they had a thing called the Durium record lock, and these Durium records came in paper bags, and they would normally put one in loose, and you would put it on top. But for some reason on this set of records they've riveted the lock to the underside of the record, in this case, and then we have another one here. And this is a much more primitive piece of disc material, which is actually stapled into the middle of the record. So, you know, they wanted to make sure they wouldn't jump up off the spindle. But this record, instead of dance music, it's a French language course, and we can listen to it. What do they sound like?
Deuxième partie, la pluie et le beau temps. Dépêchons-nous, je crois qu'il va pleuvoir. En effet, le temps est à la pluie.
So there's the Durium. Now the next sort is the Goodson record, very flexible, double-sided, and made out of a substance which they call rhodoid, and because they printed all over the surface of the disc, it gave them a lot of room, so they could put the title on 4 times and also tell you what was on the other side. And these were made out of a substance called rhodoid, and it says, note greater purity of tone is obtained by fitting a used needle. Well, that's obviously, which is a strange thing to say, but it's obviously to stop a new needle piercing the plastic at the beginning of the record. And since a great deal of the stuff came from grey Gull in the United States, which does actually take a rather larger groove, generally speaking, so actually a used needle would probably be fine. Now, of course, one of the main problems with these flexible records is, have they remained flat in the sort of 80 or 90 years since they were around? Duriums came from about 1930 for a few years, Goodsons I think are slightly earlier, but unless they're flat they are very difficult to play. This one isn't too bad. Now the third type of flexible record we're dealing with today is the pretty Filmophone records, which are translucent and made of some sort of plastic material. It's another British company, and they come, I've only got some green and red ones, but they did come in quite a lot of different shades. Now the great thing about these flexible records is, as we've said, they must be flat, because over the years they may have altered, and one or two of these have actually stayed in shape very well. Filmophones are highly prone to become crinkly, unfortunately, and because some of them shrink. I mean, people joke about what is the smallest Filmophone they've ever seen. I mean, they're 10-inch, 25-centimetre discs, but you know, I've seen some which have shrunk down to about 9 inches, and of course you can't do that without catastrophic warping of the surface. I'll show you one. Towards the end of Filmophone, they all tended to be black. I don't know why that was. All the pretty colours went. This is a black one, and you can see that it's in pretty bad shape. I mean, you could make a jig or something to hold it flat. There's no hope whatsoever of playing the beginning, but the end plays all right, and as you can hear, the quality is quite good. Of the few Filmophones that I actually have, musically the most interesting one is this record of St. Louis Blues, sung by the Varsity Foursome, whoever they were, and it might be possible to get it to play. It's actually got a crack on the outside, but it does sound quite good. Like a rocket in the sea. Oh my, oh me, or else she wouldn't have gone so far from me. But if you can find a nice flat Filmophone like this pretty green one, you know, then we are in business.